Suffering is not a virtue. Healing is. I never thought I would get to the point where I was prophesizing on my YouTube channel or delivering a sermon, but here we are. Hi, I'm Abby. I was raised in the Lutheran Church. I come from a family with a pastor, and I've since left the church, but my spiritual gift remains. So I'd like to share it with you in the hopes that you can find help and comfort. So in our culture, in the culture I'm from, we like to fetishize suffering. That those who are suffering deeply, who are deprived of their basic needs, are somehow purer of heart or closer to God. Folks, people that are suffering need help. They don't need our thoughts and prayers. And furthermore, God knows that. Let me explain. One of my favorite verses is Matthew chapter 9, verses 20 through 22. And it's that verse where Jesus heals the woman in the crowd when she touches the hem of his cloak. And he essentially tells her that because of your faith, you shall be healed. I'm going to read that verse. Matthew chapter 9, verses 20 through 22. I dropped my paper. Then suddenly a woman who had been suffering from a flow of blood for 12 years came up behind him and touched the fringe of his cloak. For she was saying to herself, "If I only touch his cloak, I will be made well." Jesus turned, and seeing her, he said, "Take heart, daughter. Your faith has made you well." And the woman was made well from that moment. See, what I take from that is that Jesus sees a need and acts on it. Point blank, period, end of story. I'm picking up my paper. People that are hungry need food. People that are sick need medical care. People that are unhoused need a home. People that are naked need clothing. People that are neglected and mistreated need care. People that are getting massacred in their public schools by assault rifles need a safe school. They don't need our thoughts and prayers. God knows that. Sometimes in my feed, I get these really depressing, this really depressing content where people will essentially beg for money to pay for medical care that they urgently need. They're seriously ill. A woman was in my feed today. Like, most of her face was extremely swollen. With all due respect to this woman, I don't mean to, blast her condition all over the internet, but she's already doing that. Like, her tongue was completely swollen. She could barely speak. There was saliva dripping out of her mouth, and she was crying. And her body language and her tone, I didn't even need to speak her